In 1948, after centuries of exile and the devastation of the Holocaust, the Jewish people witnessed the birth of a nation, Israel. But the declaration of a state was not the end of a struggle. It was the beginning of one. For a people emerging from trauma, displacement, and loss, the decades that followed were defined by a single challenge: rebuilding life, identity, and purpose in a world forever changed. The first task was survival and reconstruction. Between the late 1940s and the 1960s, millions of Jews migrated to Israel from across the globe, Holocaust survivors from Europe and Jewish communities from Arab and Muslim countries. A fragile state suddenly had to house, feed, and integrate people from dozens of languages and cultures. Tent camps became neighborhoods. Desert towns became cities. Farms and collective communities, known as kibbutzim, transformed barren landscapes into agricultural land. But rebuilding meant more than infrastructure. It required confronting memory. In the decades after the Holocaust, writers and thinkers struggled to articulate what had happened. Figures like Elie Wiesel, Primo Levi, and Viktor Frankl became voices of witness. Their works, such as Wiesel's Night and Levi's If This Is a Man, did more than recount suffering. They forced humanity to confront a moral rupture in modern civilization. These writings helped transform the Holocaust from a private grief into a global historical reckoning. Justice also became part of that reckoning. The post-war trials, especially the Nuremberg trials, established a revolutionary legal idea: individuals could be held accountable for crimes against humanity. Later, the 1961 trial of Adolf Eichmann in Jerusalem brought Holocaust testimony to the world's attention in an unprecedented way. For many survivors, the trial was not just about punishment. It was about testimony, ensuring that the crimes were documented in the historical record. From these efforts emerged new legal frameworks and international institutions aimed at preventing genocide and protecting human rights. Museums, archives, and research centers were built to preserve the evidence of what had happened. Among the most significant is Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, a global center for Holocaust remembrance and research. Across Europe, North America, and Israel, memorials were created not simply to mourn, but to educate. Through testimonies, artifacts, and historical documentation, these institutions transformed memory into a civic responsibility. While remembering the past, Jewish communities also invested deeply in the future. Education became central to national and cultural identity. Universities such as Hebrew University of Jerusalem and Technion, Israel Institute of Technology developed into major research centers. Over time, Israel became one of the world's leading hubs for scientific research and technological innovation, particularly in medicine, cybersecurity, and agriculture. Innovation often emerged from necessity. With limited natural resources, Israeli scientists and engineers pioneered technologies such as drip irrigation and advanced water desalination, methods now used worldwide to address water scarcity. The country's technology sector later earned Israel the reputation as the startup nation, with thousands of technology companies shaping fields from artificial intelligence to medical devices. Security remained an enduring challenge. Since its founding, Israel has faced multiple wars and ongoing regional tensions, from the Six-Day War in 1967 to the Yom Kippur War in 1973 and subsequent conflicts. In response, Israel developed advanced defense systems, including the missile interception network known as Iron Dome. These technologies reflect a broader strategy. Communities in North America, Europe, and elsewhere strengthened cultural and religious institutions. Synagogues, schools, cultural centers, ensuring that Jewish identity and traditions continued to evolve. The Jewish diaspora remained connected through education, philanthropy, and cultural exchange. Yet throughout all these transformations, memory remained central. The phrase, "never again," became a moral declaration, an insistence that the lessons of the Holocaust must inform the present. For many Jews, remembrance is not simply about the past. It is about vigilance, recognizing the dangers of hatred, extremism, and dehumanization before they escalate into catastrophe. Since 1948, the Jewish people have rebuilt communities, preserved memory, advanced science, and contributed to global culture. Their journey has been shaped by trauma and resilience, by remembrance and renewal. It is a story not only of survival, but of the enduring effort to transform history's darkest chapters into lessons for the future. History matters only if we learn from it. If you believe these stories should never be forgotten, like the video and subscribe for more historical insights.